Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Charlie Guthrie. I'm from Survivex and AIS Training, two providers of training in Newcastle, where I am today, and Aberdeen, both out the UK. This is part of a series of webinars. We're coming to the end of this at the moment, but it's our week of careers, helping brief you guys on what the big projects are and where the job opportunities are in 2021. There's still a few more to come. So we have Wind Hoist for the renewables sector joining us at 4 p.m. today that you can still register for. GWO is tomorrow morning at 11 in the morning. And then we have Global Engineering Business Wood at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So you can still register for those. You can register via our websites, survivex.com and training.aisgroup.co.uk. For this webinar, we will be taking questions at the end of it. So if you move on to Zoom, there is a Q&A at the bottom. You can click that Q&A, put your question forward. From past experience, we won't have time to get through all of your questions, but we will get through as many as we can in that last 10 minutes. At the end of this week, once we've finished our run of webinars, we will be sending an email round to everybody that will include the video of the webinar, so you can replay it again, and we'll answer a few more of the questions within that as a bit of a blog post. So look out for that as well. You will get a copy simply by registering for the webinars. So for today, we're with Atlas Professionals, a global provider of recruitment to the oil and gas, wind, maritime, and other sectors. Delighted to be here with Mark McDonald, HSEQ advisor and a long-time supporter of our careers events here. So it's great to have Mark with us. And we've also got Josh Goff, who comes from the renewables team, possibly staying in the background today, but on standby just in case we need to ask anything of you, Josh. So I'll hand you straight over to Mark to begin. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Charlie. Hello all, and welcome to the Future Energy and Marine Workforce Recruitment Day, hosted by Atlas and AIS Survivex. I'd like to thank Charlie and his team for allowing us to do this. And as he says, yeah, I'm a big supporter of AIS and Survivex and the work that they do there and the quality of training that they present at their training centres. So I've got a presentation I'd like to go through with everybody today about Atlas, who we are, what we do, what sort of projects are coming up, transitional stuff going from oil and gas into renewables for et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I shall start the presentation. So I'd like to introduce myself. Yes, my name is Mark McDonald. I'm the Senior HSEQ Advisor for Atlas Professionals Group. You can see my details there. So if anybody that's on the webinar would like to email me for any questions out with this, my email address is there. So please take it down. It's also at the end of the presentation as well. So yeah, as I say, Atlas Professionals are proud to be part of the AIS Survivex Recruitment Day, helping to build the future marine energy and marine workforce. So agenda for today, what we'll discuss is an introduction to Atlas Professionals, projects and skills, and how to apply via our website. So Atlas Professionals, we are a specialist recruitment and HR services in energy, marine and renewables. Last year, well, 2019, we had a turnover of 343 million euros. So quite a big company. We have 30 years plus experience of working within the energy sector. Worldwide, we have 25 offices currently in 18 different countries. So we have got that global reach, a bit like AIS Survivex as well. We have 3,000 professionals out on average daily at the moment. So, and to put that in perspective, we've got 32% working in oil and gas and energy, 31% in marine, 33% in renewables, and 4% in catering, which is a new kind of part of the business to us. We work in over 100 plus countries. So we are compliant with all the rules and regulations of those countries that our professionals go to work for and for our clients. We have 800,000 man days in 2019. The figures are still coming out for 2020, and they should be out later in the year. So we're competent with that, make sure that all of our professionals that go out are competent, they've got a proper CV across, do all the checks, cross-checking and all that kind of good stuff before we send any professional out to any of our clients. We have over 45,000 professionals in our inner circle. So within our, what we call Atlas for Sales or Salesforce, we've got 45,000 people there. So as I say, quite a big company out there. On average, we get 9 out of 10 ratings from our clients, professionals, employees who get asked about how we do for our business. So we'd like to be open and honest about that. 9 out of 10 is an excellent scoring for that. Some of the energy sectors that we specialise in is seismic, survey, ROV, diving and inspection, management and QC, QHSE, marine environmental, renewables, platform and jackups, which is also part of our drilling side, drilling and well services, operations and maintenance, dredging, decommissioning, which is new, offshore marine, merchant shipping, engineering and project controls, and as I said earlier, catering as well. That gives us a bit of insight into Atlas. As I say, we have a global reach, local people on the ground, in touch with HR requirements and compliance. So some of the countries that we have offices in, I won't go through them all, you can see them at the right-hand side, but as far as Brazil and New Zealand, Perth in Australia, Singapore, Houston and Boston in America, and also the Middle East. So we have, as I say, a wide range of offices, predominantly in Europe though. 4 offices in the UK, the same as in the Netherlands as well. And we also have a Moscow office as well. And we've just opened up a new one in Taiwan for all the renewables work that's going to be going on there in the coming years as well, which is exciting. So for oil and gas, as you can see, there's a picture of what some of the jobs that we recruit for within oil and gas upstream sector. If you look at the left-hand side, straight away into land seismic, well services, we do rig moves, offshore drilling's massive, especially in our Aberdeen and Hoofddorp offices. Hoofddorp is also, which is in the Netherlands next to Amsterdam, is also our head office. So within the Aberdeen office, yeah, we have a dedicated UK drilling team and also an international drilling team as well. At this moment in time, we are very, very busy with putting professionals out to our clients within the North Sea. At the moment, doesn't seem to be too much drilling, but we hope for that to be picking up, which I'll explain later on. And then we move into accommodation and workover stuff. We also FPSOs as well, pipeline vessels and all that kind of good stuff. If we go into the next slide, which is the renewables, it's also a big part of our business, the biggest part of our business at the moment. So we go from start to finish. We recruit from start to finish, developing and consenting, construction and installation, operations and maintenance, and decommissioning and removal. And on there as well, you can see some of the, also once again, guard by standby, the multi-cats, survey, rock dumping, field service engineers, you name it, we will recruit for it within the renewable sector as well. The next part is marine dredging, another big part of our of what we do. So you see there, harbour tugs, floating accommodation. So we have got a big client that we're working for just now. I think they've got about 6 vessels that are manning up at the moment for accommodation. So we're very, our marine department in Aberdeen are very, very busy with manning that up. Obviously with COVID restrictions and travel restrictions and everything coming on, that has the challenges for recruiting for all this type of work at the same time. But we do manage through it with the amount of offices and the support we get through the rest of our Atlas offices worldwide. So that's that. And we've also got our marine side of our business, which is a massive, massive part of it as well. So we've got offices in Capella in Holland, at the Aberdeen office, Odessa in Ukraine, Riga in Latvia, who also recruit worldwide for our clients worldwide on the marine side of things as well. QHSE is obviously a big part, hence why I'm here and doing this presentation at the moment. We are one of the only mining companies in the world who has a dedicated QHSE department. Myself being the senior HSEQ advisor for the company. I've got 10 years experience plus as an offshore safety officer in the drilling industry. I've also worked on FPSOs as well for a major client. A major operator within the North Sea as well. We are a member of Step Change in Safety, alongside being one of the only agencies, a member to participate and also being involved in steering committees within the group in the past. So obviously with 2020 happening with all the pandemic, COVID-19 and everything, we're looking to get back into that and help improve the health and safety within all sectors, not just oil and gas. We hold industry re-entrant training days. So this was a project that came up after the downturn in oil and gas between 2014 and 2018, whereby we saw a gap where we had professionals that may have not been offshore or working for 2 or 3 years, that it maybe forgot about the simple basic things that we do day to day within the energy sector. So what we did free of charge was we held sessions all over the UK where we took in professionals. Some guys with up to 30, 35 years experience had came in just to get a basic safety training day. So we could then go back to our clients and say, hey, look, these guys haven't been offshore for maybe 2, 3 years, 4 years, some of them, but they went through the basic safety training through myself that conducted the training. And we are happy for them to put their CV forward, even though they haven't been maybe in a position for 2, 3 years through no fault of their own. On top of that as well, we hold green hand training days. So our drilling team leader in Aberdeen thought of this idea back in, I think it was middle of June 2018. In August 2018, we set up our first one. They've all been in the Aberdeen office for the moment, for the time being, due to the people and who was applying to become a green hand. A green hand, for those that don't know, is someone who's never been in the oil and gas industry before, a newbie. So what we did was we went through a whole day of training with them. They had an aptitude test as well at the end of it, just to make sure that it was also that aptitude test was a bit of proof that they've been listening during the day, and it was something to put to the clients when we put their CV forward for positions. Predominantly these positions were for roustabouts, which is obviously the start of your career for most people within oil and gas that want to go into the drilling industry. So as I said, I did a whole day of training with these people, and it was really successful. So within a year, we managed to get 105 new roustabouts, well, predominantly roustabouts was 105, roustabouts back into the industry that had never been in the industry before. So very, very successful. Obviously with COVID kicking in last year, we had to stop that. There was a blip, but hopefully this year we can get that back started again. So anybody that's looking to get back, it's looking to get into the drilling side of things, please keep just look at our websites, keep on our LinkedIn posts, our social media posts, and all that kind of good stuff. Because there will be hopefully Q3 this year we'll start up the green hand programs again for those. Once again, these training days are free. We don't charge for them or anything like that. We see it as the right thing to do for anybody that needs to get into the industry, and we work closely with AIS Survivex, who will do bundles, training bundles, and all that kind of stuff for the new roustabouts. So we work closely with AIS Survivex on that, and we thank them for it. Zero harm is our safety goal, initiated to protect the well-being of our workforce. So it's something it's a goal that we strive for. Nobody should be going to work and being injured. Myself, I investigate and work with clients closely on all accidents and incidents to make sure that these type of accidents and incidents don't happen again. We give out safety briefings for every crew member prior to joining a rig. They get their basic safety instructions. We have an HSE handbook, which is a good read for those that are interested in that. But we do ask all of our professionals to read the HSE handbook. We also have safety conversations to ensure our crew are prepared for going offshore and focused on safety. So every month there'll be a different topic that I put out through marketing. You'll maybe see if you go onto the Atlas Professionals website, you will see the safety cartoons and stuff like that as well on there. And we also have an integrated management system with all our policies and procedures on there. And we are ISO 9001 accredited throughout the whole group. And a lot of our offices are now 14001, which is environmental, and 18001 accredited as well, which means we have got a good integrated management system there with robust policies and procedures in place to make sure that our professionals that go out there can go out there and be confident they're going out to work for a good company that takes safety seriously and will deal with any accidents and incidents that they're involved in. Our mission for Atlas is we want to become the #1 choice for our clients by being committed to providing a safe, reliable, competent and happy workforce. Okay, I think I've went on enough about the safety side of things, but we want to be reliable and put you out being competent. We do invest as well in our workforce, and we want everybody to be happy. An unhappy workforce is a non-productive workforce, and that is not good for anybody. So we want everybody to be happy as well. Our values, it's a core of our business, and it's how we work and it's what we do. So we do invest in people, and we conduct our business with integrity. We are open and straightforward. We will tell you how it is. We won't take shortcuts or anything like that. We know our businesses. We have, without all the energy sectors, we've got professionals and employees that know what they're talking about. We are proactive. I'll say once again, go back to the Green Hand programme and the re-entrant induction days. We saw there was a gap there and it could be a potential problem. So we dealt with it swiftly and accurately. We are responsible. We make sure that we are committed and compliant with rules and regulations for our clients, the countries that they work in, etc., etc. And we also keep our promises as well. Okay, it may be that you go out and are booked out to go out to a job, and it may be cancelled. It won't be Atlas that will cancel the job. It may be something operationally has happened with the client or situations has changed and stuff like as well. So moving on swiftly into industry insights and projects and skills. So obviously after the downturn in 2014 to 18, there was a good bounce back. It didn't go back up to the $150 a barrel and days for Brent crude, but there was a bounce back, absolutely for sure. Then with COVID hit around March time last year. There was a blip, shall I say, which we knew kind of was going to come, and the oil price dropped, which meant just again it happened very, very quickly as well. To be honest with you, within maybe a month to 6 weeks. As you can see there on the Brent crude price, which was taken last week, around about May time, it went down to just under $20 a barrel. But as I said, it's recovered up to around about $55 a barrel at the moment, which is good. And we can only see that rising by projections that we're seeing as well. A lot of people have got their ideas and stuff like that, but we go by what we get from the likes of oil price, Wood Mackenzie, and all the other companies that do these type of, what can I say, it likes to look into it more often than what we do. So oil and gas dominates UK CS energy generation, being like 97% basically of the energy, with 2% of offshore wind. We only see that growing in the future. 117 licenses have been awarded. As you can see on the picture there as well, in the blue, that's a 32-second offshore licensing round. So the blue ones are ones that are up for licensing grabs at the moment. So our end clients can go in and maybe buy these up, licensing, and hopefully go in there and do the work and drill for more crude oil in there as well. So as I said about roustabouts, this is positions and certificates. So I'll give you an example of one of the positions that we recruit for, and it's a roustabout. As I say, that's like the entry level for oil and gas. Some of the jobs that they do, but it's not limited to, they work under the crane with rigging and movement of equipment on deck to and from supply vessels, housekeeping, cleaning and washing of the rig, including chipping and painting, assisting a rig floor if required, running pipe and equipment to the drill floor and vice versa, mixing of chemicals and preparing drilling fluids and preventative maintenance. This is a job that I did myself for 2.5 years when I worked offshore. Enjoyable job, hard work as well, physically, mentally as well, because I say you're on your feet for 12 hours a day, and depending what kind of rig you work on or vessel you work on, it can be very, very busy, as you can imagine. Education and qualifications for that. So you obviously need your BOSIET and your oil and gas medical for working in the North Sea, and shoulder measurements as well. On top of that, all of our clients ask for a Banksman slinging stage 1 as a minimum. And most of our clients ask for OERTM, HERTM, which is your Offshore Emergency Response Team member and your Helideck Emergency Response Team member. Okay, so I think there's only 1 or 2 clients in the North Sea that don't actually have roustabouts as part of the fire team. So having these tickets basically puts you in the fire team offshore, which is obviously a very, very important job off there. These courses can be quite expensive to go through, but AIS Survivex have been good to give us good rates on that, and the training that they do there for the OERTM HERTM is excellent, and I've seen that being done myself, which is really, really good.
Mark, just to let you know, we've got quite a few questions coming in, so rattle through these last slides and we'll tackle some of those.
No problem at all. So offshore wind is scaling up. As you see there on the left-hand side, just off the coast of Scotland, we have a big wind farm called Seagreen, which we coming up shortly with hopefully 400 jobs approximately. And also got the Hornsea ones as well down in the south of England, which will power over 1.3 million homes. Supporting in all these type of things, hopefully by 2030, we'll get up to 40 gigawatt of power off of these things, supporting up to 60,000 jobs in the UK. You're going to get these, a bit of rush for time, so you are going to get all these, this presentation as well sent through to you. So please have a read through about the wind turbine technicians and the qualifications of what they do, etc., and the wind cable rigger as well, which is a transitional job. There is riggers obviously work offshore in oil and gas, and they can transition into the renewable sector as well. But once again, AIS Survivex do all the training for that as well. Decarbonisation is spurring on the energy transition, so all your major players in oil and gas, Shell, BP, Repsol, ExxonMobil, Equinor, are moving into the renewables as well and tapping into that market. So there's scope of work for them coming up as well. As I say, the predictions up to 2030 are massive for oil and wind worldwide. So how to register? There is a small video here that I won't go through, but if you just watch it for 54 seconds, it will show you how to register within Atlas Professionals. As I say, you'll get all this anyway through your email box. You'll get a verification code sent to your email, copy and paste it, and then press confirm. And then you'll come into here. So you can upload your CVs, all your certs, all your personal details and everything like that. The more information you put in here, the better it is, so we can see what kind of jobs you will be suitable for. So please put in as much information as you can. Don't just upload your CV and your certs. put in what kind of jobs you're interested in, what kind of jobs you've done at the moment, where you are, as you can see here. Even your boot size, you can put in for your size, your overalls and everything. Okay, and that is me finished. As I say, I'll leave that on just now. That is my details. If anybody's got any questions and like to ask me after the webinar, and I thank you very much for your time. Charlie?
Mark, that's brilliant. Thank you, Mark. That was really helpful. I think, you know, you talked about drilling at one point. I know we spoke to Helideck yesterday, and they were echoing similar things. Yes, it's quiet at the moment, but it's picking up towards the middle of the year. And I think what sets Atlas apart is the lengths you go to. So, you know, beyond the sheer size and scale of Atlas Professional, it's the support through re-entrant days, the green hand days that like you say, we see coming to our Survivex facility. So it's good. And we have had, we've got more questions than we're going to have time for. I'm happy to just run the webinar over a little bit just to capture some more of those. But do remember, if you don't get your question answered, we will publish at the end of the week the video along with a bit of a Q&A including that as well. But I will pick up 2 or 3 of them. So Lewis asks, once you register with Atlas Professionals, do you have to look for jobs advertised, or will I be contacted by Atlas if you think his profile fits?
Yeah, so what I would say is keep an eye on our social media, keep an eye on the website. Absolutely, there's a lot of jobs get posted on the website on a daily basis, but social media as well, like so LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all these kind of social media platforms. We post jobs on there as well. So if you think that there's anything that you're suited to, feel free to apply and stuff like that. And if you do fit, obviously at this time being, there could be maybe 200-300 people apply for one job. It's very, very hard for an account manager or a PC to get back to every single person. So yeah, I would say keep an eye on it. And if you are suitable, then we'll get one of our PCs to call you. Great.
So yeah, watch the social media channels, the LinkedIn, the Facebooks, and
predominantly our website. So right, atlasprofessionals.com.
This might be a question slightly more for Josh, but let me know if you can answer it, Mark. So James has said that would you say basic technical training, that's a GWO BTT, or blade repair is more in demand at the moment if he was deciding which one to go for? Josh isn't sure how to answer that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. It really depends on basically where you want to see your career progressing. You know, there are opportunities in both. It's hard to say which one. If I had to say, I'd say probably the BTT as a starting point would probably be my recommendation, but without knowing kind of what your goals are and what your background is, you know, it's hard to say. It might be something that is worth discussing offline, and more than happy to do that. But yeah, it's not as simple as that, I don't think.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And a different question, but along with the same line. So if you've done your basic safety training, and I suppose that could be your GWO basic safety training or your OPITO BOSIET, what's the best way to gain your first bit of offshore experience?
I can answer that. Yeah, as I say, once again, keep on checking the websites for our green hand days, especially for getting into the oil and gas sector. For renewables, early discussions, very early discussions about maybe looking at a green hand program for renewables. But obviously we'd have to go and see our clients first to see if there's enough work there for that to happen, where they would take on personnel professionals who haven't got experience and give them that kind of experience on the job. Because as I say, we don't want a skill shortage like we did back in 2018 for sure. So as I say, just keep on looking, and we will be posting things later on this year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so Andrew adds, do you think experience or certifications is more important? Where would you put that, Mark?
Experience, well, you can't get experience unless you've been offshore. That's it's a $1 million question. You've got, the problem with oil and gas is you've got to have the certification before you even get offshore. and we understand the cost implication of that, and it's kind of it is a risk. We tell all our green hands that when they come into the courses, before they come, hey, look, this could cost you quite a lot of money, but we would not put green hand courses out there unless we saw that there was a need for them. You know, we're not going to be in the habit of telling people to go and do courses if there's not work out there. It's just not the way we work.
And persistence is key in that respect as well. The first step is always the hardest step.
Yeah.
Once you're in the door, you know, you get your foot in the door and you prove yourself that, you know, you're a reliable worker. You know, all of our clients like to, you know, they like to know what they're buying essentially. So if you've got a track record of doing a good job for them, they will always look to employ you again, essentially.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Josh, we hear that from delegates in the centre as well, when they, like you say, clients like to know who they're buying from, or, you know, if you're a manager of one of the sites and you come on a training course. So our delegates say that, look, I met the ops manager of X company on the training course that I was doing because it was a refresher or whatever. And that was a really good contact to have, because just by knowing him and then coming through the recruitment companies, there was already a link there.
Definitely.
Yeah. And repeat business, it's just, it doesn't matter what sector you're in, you know, people and clients want to know what they're getting for their money, and they want people to work safe and do a good job. But is getting your foot in the door is the hardest part. Once your foot's in the door, then the world's your oyster. Then it's up to yourself on how you conduct yourself when you get off there, when you get into
I agree.
Work.
And we've probably got time we've run over a little bit, but let's squeeze in one more question. As I say, all the questions we'll try and answer through the blog post, which will be published by the end of the week on our website. But last question we've got is from Stuart. We've picked this because I think it will resonate with a lot of the people listening. Do you work with many candidates who are ex-forces? Is ex-forces a popular kind of choice for the industry?
I can answer that. The answer to that is yes. We do. A lot of our clients, especially in oil and gas, at the start of the Green Hand programme, they were taking on anybody that had the certification and went well through an interview and all that kind of stuff. At the end of it, they were looking for people in trades and ex-military personnel as well. So the answer to that is yes, for sure.
That's great. Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much. That's been really insightful, Mark. Thank you, Josh, for your help in this as well. As I said before, this is part of a series of webinars. We have Windhoist talking to us in about 25 minutes time that you can register through the website for. Tomorrow, Wood Group are talking to us, as is GWO. So still quite a bit to come. Mark's details are on the page there. atlasprofessionals.com is the website to check in on and look at what job opportunities are coming up. And on this occasion, we've talked quite a bit about the training and courses required to get work offshore and to apply for jobs. So you can always visit us at survivex.com and training.aisgroup.co.uk. But other than that, thank you very much for joining us, Josh and Mark. Really appreciate it. And thank you for joining us, the audience.
Thank you all. Thanks very much.
Thanks a
Take
lot.
care.
Cheers.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.